Kosher Boy. Hello, Mr. Cornette. I was wondering if you had any crazy stories about the backstage antics during your managing career. What's the craziest thing you've ever witnessed going on between a wrestler and a rat?
Oh, my God.
Did you have any rats? Thanks for being so candid in advance. Honest and entertaining. Sincerely, Kosher Boy.
He's backing me into a corner. Yes, believe it or not, it was so prevalent in the 80s, I even had rats. As a matter of fact, what we would do is we would just stand... maybe stay at the other end of the hotel from the Rock and Roll Express's room, and then you could just go and pick one off the back of the line because it was so long. Once it stretched around the corner, they wouldn't see you grab one of theirs. I found in my time that the girls who appreciated the talents of the heels were generally more like the kind of girls that I wanted to be around, because instead of your teeny boppers with the cute little skirt and a lollipop that had to go to elementary school, they were the ones with the whips and chains and leather and high heel boots and things of that nature. A little bit more off the center. So I like the heel girls much better than I did the baby face girls. Were just too bubble gum. So.
Interesting.
What is the
crazy incident?
Altercation.
Altercation. You may be able to call.
I've seen a few guys have a few altercations with. Oh my God! I'm not only trying to think of the craziest thing, but also how I could tell a story and not bury anybody that I'm not up on their marital status as of the current point.
Well, this was back before everyone was married, wasn't it? It was the '80s, for Christ's sake.
Look at it! See, he's so smooth. He slips, and most people would fall for that, type of thing. Yeah, it was the '80s.
People that can even remember it, or is a testament to.
I will say that oh geez. God, I wish you'd let me prep for this, because I really could have come up with something entertaining, but off the top of my head.
Who was it that described Andre? Andre had left the curtains open in a motel one night. And was it Sheik Adnan? Somebody said that they walked by the room, and it was Andre with a young lady from the arena that night, and it resembled a lion mauling a puppy.
Well, I did see Polaroid pictures one time, and he's passed away now. It's a Plowboy Frazier and a midget girl. That was interesting, because he was 6'10", about 450, and he had the Polaroids to prove it. But I mean, there was a lot of things.
That ain't in your book, is it?
That's not that's an original right here. Good. For kayfabe commentaries. There were a lot of things going on, but I don't want to spoil anybody's.
All right, we're not getting it.
Because once again, if you'd have given me a day to prepare, I could have worked around names and things.
Dewey, I think it is, from courtesy of
Cheatham and Howe,
online.com. Who got more rats in the 80s, Flair, Morton, or Kerry Von Erich?
Oh Jesus!
Throw in Stan Lane too. Go ahead.
Well, I was about to say you got to throw Stan in that fucking equation. Actually, I think. I wasn't around Kerry as long as I was around the other three guys, and of course he had his share. I've got video. Ricky Morton used to have more sex on the way to the ring than most people did in a month. I mean, girls have their hands down his tights and sticking their tongue in his mouth or his ear or anything they get a hold of. He's lucky to get to the ring with his jacket on. Flair, I don't know that he had more in quantity, but his quality was certainly off the charts. And Stan, Stain Lane, S-T-A-N-E, Stain Lane.
Fired. You're fired.
Actually, that's kind of been fitting with the topic. Stan's production was incredible also. I'd say Ricky may have been the numerical advantage, but Flair and Stan had quality, the likes of which you would never see. And they were fly-ins, too, as a matter of fact, a lot of times.
Okay. Jeff Stanifer, continuing with that.
And he just comes out with it.
We all know Stan was a ladies' man, so on average, how many girls does Stan fuck a week? And do you ever get jealous watching him get so much ass?
No, I wasn't jealous. I was amazed and proud for him. I never kept count. I don't know if there was an average, and I wasn't actually sitting there with my fucking Sprite or Pepsi in hand watching him get the ass, but we did, as Mick put in the book, a lot of times you'd see him headed to his room with a girl or two and a bottle of baby oil. So,
Greg Pike asks, do you ever hit up a bar and a party with Ric Flair?
Well, and I've been in bars and restaurants and places of that nature with Ric Flair. And yes, he's the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it's actually more fun eating with him, because when you have a chance to actually sit down and talk a little bit while, if there's some food in between there, it keeps, separates the alcohols. So
Kamikazes, that was his deal, right?
Yes, we've had some nice dinners, though, as a matter of fact.
All right.
Kayfabe commentaries. This is the Hess Express here from the OffTheMarkShow.com. I know, Sean, you were wondering why we had our shirts off in the last shoot.
I did.
Sean, we don't go that way. I know you like it. We have our shirts off because it's funny. And my question to you, Mr. James Cornette, I want to know how many ladies you slept with on the road. Because I know there's got to be tons.
Did you have lunch yet?
Okay, once again, way to punch that go home line in. Secondly, the thing with the no shirts, it's not funny. It's a little sad, to be quite honest with you. I saw the one guy naked one time. I canceled my check to prevent blindness. The answer to that question is I never slept with one single lady on the road. Not one single one.
Not on the road.
No, not one single lady. Hundreds of sluts. Hundreds. Feast your eyes and fantasize, motherfucker. Yes, even me, in my day.
The racket ever come into play?
Shh, kayfabe, I can't talk about that.
San and Ed Antonio.
I have pictures, actually. No.
What was scarier, falling off that scaffold or fending off a drunken baby doll after Starcade?
No, why a minute. Why are they, what?
Is this, am I not privy to something
Why
that I should be?
I don't know if I've never seen Baby Doll drunk. And actually, we didn't work with Baby Doll at Starcade. It was the Road Warriors and the Rock and Roll. Well, now wait a minute. Was there a question in there that we just pretty much took it apart? It was scarier falling off the scaffold than most anything I've ever done. But no, Doll and I were always good friends, except when she potatoed me. And no, she was never drunken, etc.
Very good. Okay. The Big Dog, who was the most promiscuous backstage of all the classic valets: Sunshine, Baby Doll, Precious, Missy, Dark Journey, Terry Runnels.
I don't necessarily have to give details, but they would be welcome. But now, here's the thing. Okay, number one.
Reading all my notes. You can host it. Well, that would be great. That would be great. You interview yourself.
But I'd blow up moving back and forth from chair to chair. See, what you're trying, Big Dog, good name, what you're trying to do now is you're trying to get me to lose friendships, because Terry Runnels and I have always been very good friends. Missy Hyatt and I have always been very good friends. Baby Doll and I have always been very good friends. I haven't seen Sunshine in 20 years, but we always got along, and Precious is a very nice lady. At Dark Journey, I didn't know that well. So I'll bury her. Yeah, she fucked everything. I said, no, I'm not. Once again, I'm not. These people are my personal friends. I'm not going to come out and call them the whore of Babylon. I will say Dark Journey, I've heard a few stories about. Missy has told some stories, so I'm not going to add anything, but I'm not going to say she was better or worse. Sickness and health, I don't know. You know, I can't. These are my personal friends. I'm not going to go.
Pick up. You shoot Missy Hyatt at Kayfabe Commentary.
Yeah, if she did something, she'll tell you. Now, of course, you know, a lot of the stories are exaggerated because, you know, if she'd done that many fucking things, you know, if she had as many sticking out of her, she'd had stuck in her, she'd look like a porcupine.
We had her rank about 50 wrestlers by size. We brought out the board with the various. Well, Greg Pike, would you bang Terry Runnels? I don't know if we're going to get an answer on that.
It would be insulting her to say, my God, who wouldn't? If you got a pulse.
Well, if you weren't married back in it, you're not married?
Whether I was married or not, it didn't matter. And I would invite my wife to come along and pick up some tips, I'm sure, you know.
Jason Worthing, here's the tough one. It's another You Shoot tradition. You got out of it last time. Fuck, marry, kill. You got to fuck one, you got to marry one, you got to kill one.
Oh.
Mae Young, ODB, Dixie Carter.
Mae Young has always been a sweetheart to me. I love ODB. I think she's a great person. So Dixie Carter, on the other hand, not my favorite person. Now, just approaching this scientifically and hopefully entertainingly, but it's not starting out in that direction. I got to kill Dixie Carter because I wouldn't want to kill people that I like. But if I say kill Dixie Carter, then I could be indicted by the federal authorities for being some kind of terrorist.
Right.
So I don't know whether to do that. But now, the thing is, what about...
That leaves you a fucking marry of ODB and Mae Young, I would just like to point out.
What about if I fucked ODB, married Mae Young, then killed Mae for the inheritance and just ignored Dixie Carter like everybody else should? Does that work?
We'll let you get away with that one. No problem.
Mr. Jimmy Cornette. This is the Hess Express here from the OffTheMarkShow.com. I want to know, how many illegitimate children do you have in the South?
The
Because
delivery.
we all know, down in the dirty South, everything was legal.
It's a little Chris Walken. It's a little maybe Jay Silverheels of Tonta.
No, I'm thinking it's maybe a little special ed with a tad bit of New Jersey. No, and actually, sorry, the cameraman's
Boston.
from New Jersey.
Boston.
Well,
They're
Boston.
from
whatever.
Boston.
I don't.
Can't
It's
tell?
hey, anything north of Indiana for me, it all kind of sounds the same. I do not have any illegitimate children. I don't even have any legitimate children, and I know this for a fact because I will say this: one time, somebody went so far as to try to claim that I had fathered their child. But the problem was, the child was born like 14 months after I'd even been in the particular town in question, which indicated either they gave birth to like a hippopotamus baby or else. So that turned out to be completely bogus whatsoever, and I have no children.
We're a little heavier back then, but I wouldn't go so far as to say hippopotamus.
Hey!
But how can you say with any degree of certainty that you don't have any children in the South? You never kicked one past the goalie that you know of.
I keep track of these things, and I'm very careful.
All right, good for you. Mike Campbell, 411mania.
I'm not just running around willy-nilly spreading my genius and seed and chromosomes and DNA all across America because heavens, then people wouldn't pay for it. See, one of these days I'm trying to work a deal where they'll pay for some of my DNA so that they can hatch wrestling geniuses in the 22nd century.
Oh, like a wrestling cryogenic program where the geniuses of the business have the sperm frozen.
Freeze a little.
Or maybe freeze your head when you go finally to keep the brain. Didn't they do that to Ted Williams? Isn't his head in a jar somewhere?
I think they froze all of Walt Disney, didn't they?
I think that's a myth, though. Disney on Ice.
They froze Richard Nixon's head. They've got it in a jar. I know that I saw it on Futurama.
They can have it.